Greetings, everyone. I'm so excited that you are here today. Today is Monday, January the 20th. The current time is 5:07 a.m., and that is Central Time. Today is Martin Luther King Jr.'s Day. This is a holiday. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is a federal holiday in the United States observed on the third Monday of January each year. King was the chief spokesperson for nonviolent activism in the civil rights movement, which protested racial discrimination in federal and state law and civil society. All right, so we have a few topics that we're going to get into before we get into the presidential inauguration. We're going to get into Nelly performing, and we're also going to get into Snoop Dogg performing. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Let's go ahead and first and foremost, I did want to cover a few topics. Like I said, give me 1 second. I wanted to bring up this one. All right, so before we get started with our topics, I wanted to bring this up right quick. Let me see. And I want to acknowledge, um, people that we've lost in 2024. All right. Shout out to blackamericans.web.com. Rest in power, notable Black folks who we lost in 2024. All right, let's go ahead and bring this article up. All right, and we are back in the studio. Okay. All right, so I did want to bring up this article right here. Give me one second. And I wanted to acknowledge those that we have lost. Oh my goodness. In 2024. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, here's the article right here. Okay, so the article reads, as we've come to understand year after year, day after day, even death is unfortunately an inevitable part of life. Still, as much of a fact as they may be, the blow of experiencing loss never gets any easier, nor does reporting on the subject in Black culture. Greg Gumby, an award-winning super sportscaster, has unalived. His family released a statement confirming his passing, saying, "It is with profound sadness that we share the passing of our beloved husband and father, Greg Gumbel. He passed away peacefully, surrounded by much love after a courageous battle with cancer. Greg approached his illness like one would expect he would, with stoicism, grace, and positivity. He leaves behind a legacy of love, inspiration, and dedication to over 50 extraordinary years in the sports broadcast industry, and his iconic voice will never be forgotten. Greg's memory be forever will forever be treasured by his family, dearest friends, colleagues, and all who loved him, Marcy and Michelle Gumbel. All right, who else do we have? So we have him. All right, we have OG Mako, Mako. Okay. According to TMZ, rapper OG Mako has passed away at the age of 32 after weeks of attempting to recover from a self inflicted pow wound. The ATL rapper has reportedly transitioned. We have Parsons. Parsons' tenure as CEO of the Time Warner from 2002 to 2007 showcased his exceptional ability to turn around troubled organizations, stepping into the role amid the fallout of the disastrous AOL Time Warner merger. Parsons faced one of the toughest challenges in corporate history with steady hands. He reduced the company's crippling 30 billion debt to nearly half, stream operations, and focus on the firm's strengths in media and entertainment. Okay. We have Mr. Art Evans. Mr. Evans' wife spoke on the passing of her husband, saying, "We are heartbroken to share that Art has passed away. Please respect our privacy at this time. A memorial will be held for friends and family to attend at a later date. Thank you. Then we have Aziza Z. Barnes. She passed in 2024. Their family confirmed via rep that Barnes um, had unalived of the S word on December the 15th. Oh my goodness. The family released a statement saying, with heavy hearts, we regret to inform you of the passing of an undeniable and beloved artist, child, sibling, and friend, Aziza Z. Barnes. Z has touched and inspired countries, individuals, both in their community and industry, and will be deeply missed and endlessly loved by all who were fortunate to have experienced their presence and work. And incomparable talent. We look for understanding in these words and wish comfort and understanding as we grieve this. Okay, so just some of the people that we lost in 2024. Now, let's get into the stories. I do have some more that I want to get into. This particular story right here. Let's see. And Grand Rising to all that are just now coming in. We really appreciate you for stopping by on this rising. Okay, so let me go ahead and exit this out. All right, famous members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated. Yes, they just had Founders Day, what, 5 days ago? Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated was founded by 9 women on the campus of Howard University in Washington, D.C. on January the 15th, 1908. It is the oldest Greek letter organization created by and for African American collegiate women. Oh my goodness, we have another. Its founders were Anna Esther Brown, Belua Burke, Lily Burke, Marjorie Hill, Margaret Flagg Holmes, Ethel Hedgeman Lyle, Lavinia Norman, Lucy Diggs Slow, and Maurice Wood Woolfolk Taylor, aka, has nearly 300,000 members and 1,018 graduate and undergraduate chapters worldwide. Motto by culture and by merit. Colors salmon pink and apple green. The symbol ivy leaf. Okay, what is this right here? I want to close that. Okay. Shout out to Miss Cameron Hall, Miss Timby Loke. That is Atika Locke, Felicia Richard, Loretta Devine, Wanda Sykes, Toni Morrison, Kathy Hughes, Lynn Winfield. Okay. Not really sure what's going on with that article, but we're going to continue to give our broadcast. Okay. So let's go ahead and get to our other article as we get into it. All right. Well, being today that President elect Trump will be taking office. Oops. Here's an article. Trump's 11 promises for day one of his presidency. Donald Trump promises for his first day in office offer a sharp glimpse into the goals and priorities shaping his political agenda. These commitments span a wide range of issues, reflecting a no holds barred approach to reshaping policies domestically and abroad. With his characteristic boldness, Trump has outlined actions that aim to leave an immediate and tangible impact, including controversial objectives that could redefine long standing norms. The significance of these promises lies not only in their ambition, but also in the challenges they are likely to face, from legal hurdles to fierce political opposition. Each pledge underscores key themes central to Trump's platform, such as national security, immigration reform, and economic transformation. The potential ripple effects could resonate for beyond U.S. borders, influencing global relations and economic landscapes. As the clock ticks toward a towards a possible Trump presidency, the enormity of these promises raises questions of pragmatism, pragmatism, and feasibility. While they energize his supporters and rally his base, critics argue about the practicality of achieving such sweeping change in a single day. The following list provides a detailed breakdown of these first day ambitions, setting the stage for what could be a presidency characterized by swift and decisive action or a series of political battles and compromises. Take a look below at Trump's 11 promises for day one of his presidency. Number one would be in birthright citizenship. Number two, it says at the moment, all born in the U.S. gain citizenship under the 14th Amendment. Trump aims to end this. This move is thought to likely spark legal battles. Number two is part in January the 6th defendants. Okay, this is what he plans on doing. All right. So number three is number two, um, on numerous occasions, Trump has said he would quickly pardon people convicted of their role in the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. And the war in Ukraine is going to be number three. Trump promises that he could end war in Ukraine within 24 hours of taking office or even before. Number four, implement tariffs. Trump promised that he would sign an executive order to implement a 25% tariff on products imported from Mexico and Canada, two of America's biggest trading partners. Number five would be increase oil drilling. One of Trump's most frequent promises, repeated in almost every campaign speech, is the commitment to increase oil drilling in the United States. Number six would be in Biden era border policies. Trump has issued bold pushback to President Joe Biden's immigration policies, vowing to use his first day in office to terminate every open border policy of the Biden administration. Number seven would be Made in America auto industry. Trump said during a rally in September that a vote for President Trump means the future of the automobile will be made in America. He forecast that the auto industry would be fueled by American energy sourced by American suppliers and built by American laborers. He added is going to happen and will do it first day in office. Number 8 will be in gender affirming care practices. Trump has also frequently rallied against gender affirming care, which can include hormone therapy. Number 9 would be begin a mass deportation program. Immigrants make America great. Um, as he did during his previous campaigns, excuse me, Trump made immigration the centerpiece of his 2024 pitch, repeatedly vowing to deport undocumented migrants. Number 10, cancel the electric vehicle mandate. In 2000, in 2021, Biden signed an order setting a nationwide goal aiming for 50% of new cars and trucks sold by 2030 to be zero emission. In March, the Environmental Protection Agency finalized tailpipe emission limits, and electric vehicles were expected to help meet the goals. California also has a law dictating that all new car sales in the state be zero emission by 2035. Number 11 would be limit transgender participation in sports. Trump has repeatedly referred to transgender women as a man, vowing to his supporters that he will ensure transgender women cannot compete in women's sports. And that's just that on that. So, this is a lot that's going to be happening this month. For those that went down there and disrespected the Capitol, they will be pardoned per Donald Trump. So that's a lot. I know a lot of people are going to be rallying. I know there are going to be a lot of MLK programs, parades going on. And so definitely want to honor him. And, Black History Month is what, like 10, 11 days away? Mhm. So let's see. Let me see. Do we have any more news? Yeah, we can go over here. So Snoop Dogg is getting some backlash for performing or DJing at, okay, hold on, we just got news. Give me 1 second. I really wish y'all were able to see, like, I have my candle going. Let me see. I got my candle going. It's like a whole vibe over here. And I don't know, this is like my sanctuary. It's like I'm loving what I'm doing, and I hope you all are entertained. Let me see. I want to bring this up because President Biden has given clemency to Michelle West after 30 years of incarceration as one of his final acts in office. Statement from President Joe Biden on clemency actions, briefing room statements, and release. It says, America is a country built on the promise of second chances. As president, I have used my clemency powers to make that promise a reality by issuing more individual pardons and communications than any other president in U.S. history. Today, I am exercising my clemency power to pardon 5 individuals and commute the sentences of 2 individuals who have demonstrated remorse, rehabilitation, and redemption. These clemency recipients have each made significant contributions to improving their communities. Michelle West, BLP, numbers 17809-039. Michelle West is currently serving a life sentence for crimes she committed between 1987 and 1993. During her 3 decades of incarceration, Ms. West has demonstrated extraordinary rehabilitation and personal transformation. Ms. West's clemency petition has received overwhelming support from the civil rights community, women's rights advocates, former fellow inmates, and lawmakers supporting describe Ms. West as a role model who has built a 31-year record of rehabilitation and redemption. Okay, so that she is. So congratulations, Michelle. Mhm. Now, y'all already know we have to get up into these comments and shout out to our friends over at It's On Site. They say President Joe Biden granted clemency to Michelle West, who has spent over 3 decades behind bars for a crime she maintained she did not commit. Sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms plus 50 years, West's case has been a focal point for criminal justice reform advocates, particularly due to her claims of innocence and the unjust nature of her lengthy sentence. Michelle West was arrested in 1993 and convicted under mandatory sentencing laws, which led to her life sentence despite the absence of direct evidence linking her to the crime. Throughout her time in prison, West has maintained exemplary conduct and earnings recognition for her achievements and positive impact on fellow inmates. Her daughter, McQuell West, has been a vocal advocate for her release, using her platform to highlight the family's pain and the need for clemency. In January 2025, West was granted clemency by President Biden, offering her a second chance at life outside of prison. This decision marks a significant moment in the fight for justice, shedding light on the importance of addressing systematic issues, especially concerning the treatment of women and mandatory minimum sentences. Michelle's journey serves as a powerful testament to the strength of the human spirit and the enduring hope for justice and reform. All right. Someone says, what did they blame her for doing? Wish she had freed the lady from Baltimore that powed her husband for SAing that her daycare kids. Is her daughter the stylist that's supposed to be pregnant by NLE? Free Larry Hoover, taking pals just for this queen. Let's go. Biden did his big one. Someone says going to do my research as I have never heard about this, and then I will report back to headquarters. Someone says, thank you, Joe. Praise God, she been fighting for years and never gave up. This was his mic drop. Wow, no negativity. This is amazing. Someone says, only good thing he has done. Good job, Joe. Someone says, yes, I heard her story and signed her petition. Glad she's coming home. Sound like she went to prison under his crime bill. You did, Joe. Now go rest. Oh my God. This is major, someone says. Okay. All right, now let's move on to the next story, honey. Ohio woman who falsely accused a real estate developer of trespassing issues a public apology. Says she apologized privately, but it was not accepted. Shout out to our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk.
And my car was broken into when I was at the store. And when I was a little girl, we had a man banging on our door and helicopters hovering over our home. So, did I overreact? Yeah, maybe a little bit. But I showed up at the door and I said that I was sorry 2 times. People are going as far as saying they're not genuine apologies, that I'm out to get them for whatever reason that is. I don't know how it could be twisted that way when I literally thought he was a white man. So I knew it wasn't going to stop there, but the Facebook page stuff was deleted. Not me ever asking for any of it to be deleted. I made a public apology to them through the video to a whole Facebook page of almost 500 residents in our neighborhood. Followed 20 minutes home, and my car was broken into when I was at the store. And when I was a little girl, and I posted in the comments multiple times when people were just saying, like, disgusting and just tearing down our family's name. I once again came on and I said, if there's ever an opportunity to reconcile, like, I will. I'm so sorry I could have ever offended you. And so I've absolutely apologized multiple times. It's not been accepted. So now I woke up today and John starts sending me screenshots of people going on all of my social media channels. And I had to make my pages private. On one of the videos of us talking about opening our store, there were over 360 comments, some of which absolutely were from our members, but I would say over 300 of them within a 10-minute span were from, and I posted in the comments multiple people coming to absolutely attack us, saying anything and everything you can imagine, from hating on my faith, tying that to racism and me not being who I say I am, to my family, to be on a lookout, to our business is destroyed, to you can imagine everything that's being said, to our direct messages to my friends and members being messaged saying that I'm a racist, going as far as saying that I was trying to have a black man killed. That was commented a few times. To people texting me personally, calling me a racist pig. Our direct messages, our other businesses, Crave is being attacked, and every business platform, my Facebook ratings, everything is being attacked right now. So, everybody keeps asking for a public apology, and I wanted to get ahead of it. I don't want to just stay quiet, but I did shut my pages to private. I've explained to my Instagram exactly what I'm explaining to y'all. I absolutely am so sorry that I didn't think more of how they possibly could have felt in the moment and my reaction. So, knock on the doorbell. Ring doorbell. We need to. What's going on? Do you live here? Yeah. You do? Papa. I don't believe that. What? I don't believe that. So where are you going? Rory, come on. Rory, come on. Hey. Did someone come here?
That was my wife. Somebody chased her up here. And she had the kids.
Who chased her?
She said somebody in the silver truck.
In a gray truck. And he came around the corner and I was in the street.
And so I come up and I pick up my kids, and so I'm like, I pretend that I'm coming home. And so I pull up and I start walking to your back gate. And he stops here and he goes, "Are you looking for someone?" And I said, "Nope." And then he sat here and I was like, "I need to get in."
Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah. He lives here. So he came in and he said, "There's a lady screaming." And I'm like, that's.
She got all worried. There's some.
Scared the crap out of me.
How?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
How did he scare you though?
I just seen her in the driveway and I was like, "Are you looking for somebody?" Because I was pulling up out.
And I saw someone walking in our driveway too. And I'm like, why is someone walking in our driveway?
Well, I'm sorry.
Did someone come here?
Well, there we got it. All right, sorry.
What? She said that someone was following her. So you were walking from there?
No, you came this way, didn't you?
No, I came down this street right here,
Yeah.
and I was riding slow because I'm looking at our Christmas lights.
Well, you just have to understand my point of view. Being by myself with two kids, I just saw a car coming, and so I was like, "Oh, it scared me," and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, "This could be his house," but you didn't say, "This is my home." You just said, "Are you looking?" And I was like,
I did. When you was on the porch, you asked me, "Did I live here?" I said, "Yeah."
And you said, no, you don't.
And you said, "I don't think you do."
It was obviously you could tell that I was really caught off guard.
Like I'm pulling in my, it's like I'm pulling in my house. Like this is not. This neighborhood is probably one of the best neighborhoods in Ohio. I don't. You don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Well, I'm very sorry. I really hope that you're not upset with me.
Come on, baby, go in the house. Let's go.
You told me that
Well, there we got it. All right, sorry.
you didn't think I live here.
It was the way that you were talking. I was so caught off guard. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so pretty much you have this white lady. She's walking through the neighborhood. This gentleman stays in the neighborhood and she racially profiled him. Actually, he is a black real estate developer and he was racially profiled in his own neighborhood for not fitting the identity of a typical homeowner in the area. I want to just say this, there is a lot of stereotypes going on, you know, and I just kind of feel like once the lady had gotten her answer of, do you stay here or whatever the case she wanted to ask him, he said, yeah, that should have been the end of it. She should have went on and started minding her own business. Like she was doing the absolute most. Okay. Shout out to her friends over at the Neighborhood Talk says, neighbors, y'all accepting her apology. Someone says she needs to understand he could have been unalive because of her, just like that. Pow. In an instant. Absolutely. And she's a white woman running down the neighborhood, running down the streets. I mean, she took off like he went chasing her. That was very dangerous. Someone says, girl, please, I'm still irritated the homeowners were as nice as they were about it. Crocodile tears. Someone says, the F she crying for should have just been an apology and not after you want us to know how you are suffering from your actions. Disingenuous. Someone says, girl, F you. That's Sierra Glam Shop, okay? Someone says, they know how to cry on command. Bye. Someone says, laughing my A off. That's what the F she gets. This is ridiculous. We do not care. Take your punishment like a big girl, okay? You was wrong, someone says. Emmett Till, RIP, take accountability and thank God for cameras. You know what? That right there, and thank God for cameras because Dick Rowland, um, who lived here, he was an elevator attendant in Tulsa in 1921. Sarah Page ran off the elevator and a news company ran a story that did not have all the facts. And it caused the attack on Tulsa, Oklahoma. So when you say, oh, she made a mistake, I'm not buying it. She felt everything that she felt. She said what she felt. And now that there are consequences and repercussions, because that is unacceptable, and the people are tired of Karens with this behavior and getting away with it, feeling like they have privilege. Yeah, your businesses should be suffering. You meant every word that you said. Okay. Now let's get into our next story.
And then he journeyed to
This is going to be shout out to the Shade Room for providing this story. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Pennsylvania, where he spent like a month and a half campaigning for me in Pennsylvania. And he's a popular guy, and he was very effective. And he knows those computers better than anybody, all those computers, those vote counting computers. And we ended up winning Pennsylvania like in a landslide. So it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So thank you to Elon. And then he journeyed to Pennsylvania, where he spent like a month and a half campaigning for me in Pennsylvania. And he's a popular guy. And then he journeyed to Pennsylvania, where he spent like a month.
All right. So shout out to the Shade Room. They report, press play. At his rally in Washington, D.C., President-elect Donald Trump expressed gratitude to Elon Musk for his assistance during the campaign. Trump highlighted Musk's involvement in Pennsylvania, noting that his expertise with vote counting computers played a major role. He also boasted about winning Pennsylvania by a landslide. The final vote count 312 to 226. Let's stop posting him, shall we? Someone says, I once heard one of my college classmates say he knew those computers too. He was a hacker. Child, someone says, this is crazy. Someone said, did he just... Child, someone says, bro just said they cheated. My grandma used to say, just let them talk. They would tell on themselves. Admitting to cheating is a whole new low. Democracy where? Strap your seatbelts. This is going to be once heck of a ride the next 4 years. He could literally admit that he cheated and the country would just ignore it. It's given Elon hacked the voting machine. Trump really admitted to cheating. Is America listening? I told y'all the voting computers in the swing states were hacked by Elon. Trump always tells on himself if you listen closely. Essentially saying his boy helped him win. Whew, that's a lot. Let's go on over here to Rep. Donalds calls Trump daddy. Daddy's back. Oh, yeah.
Sees the numbers. He'll figure a way to do it. It's not just going to be that. I mean, when Americans see deportations or repatriations happen, they're going to be like, thank you. When they see the border closed, they're going to say, this is what I voted for. When they see peace starting to like break out again around the world, they're going to be like, this is the stability that we were asking for. Daddy's back. So, and that's what you're going to see. So you just sees the numbers. He'll figure a way to do it. It's not just going to be that. I mean, when Americans see deportations or repatriations happen, they're going to be like, thank you. When they see the border closed, they're going to say, this is what I voted for. When they see peace starting to like break out again around the world, they're going to be like, this is the stability that we were asking for. Daddy's back. So, and that's what you're going to see. So you
Well, yep, you heard him. He said daddy's back. Okay. He said daddy is what? Daddy is back, honey. Daddy is back. He's ready for daddy to get up in office. I mean, whew, baller alert. Shout out to our friends over at Baller Alert. Florida Rep Brian Donalds calling Trump is sunk in place. Someone says, my God, embarrassing. Why is only black men embarrassing us like this? Can we please agree not to have Trump and his puppets dominate our feed for the next 4 years? There are other topics. Someone says, get off your knees and wipe your mouth, shaking my head. Calling another man daddy is wicked work. Ouch. Ah, honey. Someone says, imagine being his dad watching this. I'm Trump the F out already. If someone says, I find it ironic that all the blacks that was riding Trump didn't get any calls for any positions. All that shuck and jive for nothing, honey. Definitely a bottom. Daddy didn't even give you a job, honey. So effing cringe. I wish we could segregate from them. That is a lot, y'all. That
Spent like a month and a half campaigning for me in Pennsylvania, and he's a popular guy, and he was very
yeah,
effective, and he knows those.
All right, good evening. The purpose for this.
oh, hold on. Okay. Hold on, y'all. It says two teens arrested for brutal murder of 13-year-old Kanaya Baker in Columbia, found bludgeoned, stabbed, and burned. No. Oh my goodness. No. Oh, no way. Oh my goodness, y'all. Hold on one second. Let me go ahead and play this.
Press conference is to discuss the most recent developments regarding the murder of 13-year-old Kanaya Baker. Brutal, heinous, vicious, gruesome, monstrous, and disturbing. These are the words I use to describe this murder investigation. On Wednesday night at about 10:30 p.m., the Columbia Richland Fire Department responded to a reported structure fire at 114 Cardamom Court. That's in Capitol Heights neighborhood off of Farrer Road. That neighborhood consists of 102 residences, of which 30 are occupied. The location of the fire was in one of the 72 unoccupied units on the property. The fire department arrived to find smoke coming from inside the residence, and they made entry and soon located the deceased person on the floor inside. At that point, they contacted the police department, and of course, we responded to the scene. Upon our arrival, we determined that the deceased was a female, and she had suffered traumatic injuries to her face and body and had been severely burned. Ms. Rutherford will speak to the extent of the injuries and why I described this crime as heinous, vicious, and monstrous. The crime scene investigators worked with the Columbia Fire Department investigators as well as SLED arson investigators, and they spent hours inside the residence along with our crime scene investigators. For the rest of the night, it was over an 8-hour process to complete the investigation inside the house. Our officers documented the important trace evidence and blood evidence in the house. And of course, our fire subject matter experts worked to determine the origin and cause of the fire. The next day, in our meeting with the sheriff's department, we learned that they had recently taken up an investigation of a missing juvenile. We learned that juvenile was similar in size and age to our victim, so we thought that there was a possibility that they could be connected. We worked with the Richland County Sheriff's Department's DNA lab and the coroner's office to ultimately determine that our victim was in fact their missing juvenile. I've watched our investigators work literally nonstop since Wednesday, and I really mean nonstop, day and night. They have conducted themselves in just the utmost professional way in very difficult circumstances. Let me talk about our two suspects. Overnight, we've arrested two people. Our first suspect is a 16-year-old female. Her last known address was in Columbia. She was reported missing by her mom on January 12th. She has a history of disorderly conduct, malicious injury, throwing bodily fluids. She was wanted by the Department of Juvenile Justice for cutting off her ankle monitor around January 12th. She was last enrolled in a local high school in January of 24, and she's currently listed as dropped out, and she is a frequent runaway. Our second suspect is a 15-year-old female. Her last known address is also in Columbia. She also was enrolled in a local high school as of last December. She is currently listed as dropped out, and she also is a frequent runaway. Our victim was originally from Sumter, South Carolina. She was most recently in foster care here in Columbia, Richland, and was reported missing on January 12th. She also has a history of running away. I'll ask the coroner now to give us some information on exactly what the cause of death was and anything that you might want to add.
Identifying a minor can be difficult. They don't have a DMV profile. They usually don't have fingerprints on file. And so we start with the basics. We look at missing teens, and Richland County Sheriff's Department contacted us with a possible description of a young girl who had gone missing. Unfortunately, the description that they were giving to us did not match what we had in front of us. And unfortunately, the description provided of Kanaya Baker was so different, in fact, that even the pictures that they sent of her just did not seem to match up. Due to severe trauma to her head, face, and body, visual identification just was not possible. And so we had to turn to science. We contacted Sheriff Leon Lott and asked him to please run DNA from dirty clothing found at the foster home that her foster mom brought to us. We used that clothing to extract DNA, and they were able to run that. We also simultaneously obtained dental records so that we could match the dentals from her last appointment. We were able to confirm that the young girl found in the burning house on Cardamom Court was that of missing teen Kanaya Baker. The manner of death is not an accident, and this is not a suicide. This is a horrible homicide. Her cause of death is blunt force trauma. And I want to address some rumors that I've seen online and from several media outlets who have called. She was not pregnant that we could visually see at autopsy. We're still waiting on slides, but at this time, we do not have a confirmation that she was pregnant at the time of her death. Kanaya was bludgeoned, stabbed, and burned. We will continue to collaborate with law enforcement to bring justice to her and her family.
So 2 juveniles have been charged with murder. And it's our expectation, as you know, these are ongoing investigations. So there's information, as the coroner just told us, that we're still waiting on. But based on what we've seen at this point, it was brutal, it was heinous, it was all of those words the chief used. And we expect, after the review of this information, to petition the family court to prosecute these juveniles as adults because of the heinous nature of what happened. So at this juncture, it's not proper for me to go into details about what the prosecution will look like, but we will be continuing to assist in any way possible. And as that information becomes more readily available, we're prepared to proceed as we need to proceed.
All right, good evening. The purpose for this press conference is to discuss the most recent.
Y'all, oh my goodness. That right there, that was very disturbing. That right there, that was very disturbing. I mean, I'm really shocked. I'm really shocked, y'all. This is a lot. Let me see. Okay. That was a lot. I just feel like the individuals that participated in that, they should definitely be held responsible in the court of law. What they did, it was a heinous crime. It was a heinous crime. It was very nasty. It was very just inhumane. I mean, that's a lot.
This museum is so important because it embodies the trauma and the triumph of the African American experience. And it embodies the truth that Black history is American history. Yes. Black culture. Black culture is American culture. And while there are those who want to erase history, some injustices are so heinous that they can never be buried, no matter how hard people try. We must know the good, the bad, and the truth about who we are. That's what great nations do. And we're a great nation. We're unique among nations. Our nation is not based on religion, ethnicity, or geography, or some ethnic component. We're the only nation in the world, the only one, history of the world, built on an idea. The idea was we're all created. This museum is so important because it embodies the trauma.
All right, so let's get into this article. Shout out to our All right, we are back in the studio. Okay, let's go.
Government documents, and in the coming days, we are going to make public remaining records relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert Kennedy, as well as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and other topics of great public interest. It's all going to be released, Uncle Sam. The first step toward restoring transparency and accountability to government, we will also reverse the overclassification of government documents, and in the coming days, we are going to make public remaining records relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert Kennedy, as well as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and other topics of great public interest. It's all going to be released.
So I want to know, is this going to be beneficial to the King family? You see what I'm saying? Will this be beneficial to the King family? Shout out to the Shade Room. They said President-elect Donald Trump announced that in an effort to restore transparency within the country, the government will release previously classified assassination files related to John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert F. Kennedy, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. These files, which have remained restricted for decades, could shed new light on the events surrounding their deaths. To declassify a file means to remove its confidential status, making sensitive information that was previously withheld from the public accessible. While over 95% of the CIA's records related to the JFK assassination have been already released, files concerning Martin Luther King are governed by the Martin Luther King Jr. Records Collection Act and are not scheduled for release until 2027. Someone says he's next. Someone says we do not care. Someone says we have daily tickets to the circus for the next 4 years. Someone says he got beef with the feds. Someone says release the damn rent prices in groceries. Okay, get into that. Release that. Okay. Release the pressure on that. Release reparations. LOL, he thought he ate with Martin Luther King Jr., honey. They say he thought he ate, honey. On the next episode of Baddies USA. I'm exhausted and the 4 years haven't started yet. What in the Malcolm X files? Okay. Someone says, why is he playing with these people? What was said between Solange and Jay-Z? Release the Epstein list. He doing everything but stopping inflation. Laughing my A off. We still ain't forgot about your part in the Central Park 5. People are still upset and bothered. I thought we cared about grocery prices, gas prices, fixing the economy. You know what? It just seems like a whole child. It's a lot going on. Child, somebody says Nelly done sold out. Rick Ross done sold out. Soldier Boy done sold out. And Snoop Dogg done sold out, child. Mm-hmm. Whew. Child, get into this. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, there comes a time when you, oh, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe nor politic nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right. It is with deep anger and disappointment that we witness artists like Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Rick Ross, and Soulja Boy choosing to perform at Donald Trump's inauguration ball for decades. These individuals have been voices that resonated with the pain, resilience, and aspirations of Black communities. Their artistry has often been grounded in the struggles of African Americans and the fight for justice. Yet, this decision to align themselves with an administration that has consistently disregarded the humanity and dignity of marginalized communities feels like a betrayal. It sends a troubling message, one that contradicts the values of unity, equity, and progress that our ancestors, including Dr. King, fought so hard to achieve in times like these. We must demand accountability from those who represent our culture. Performances at such events are not neutral acts. They carry weight. Standing on that stage is a choice to either endorse or reject the oppression we continue to face. To those who have taken that stage, we ask, what does your conscience tell you? Are you truly listening to the voices of those who made your platform possible? Now, more than ever, it is imperative that we stand firm, guided by principles and a commitment to justice. We will not be silenced, nor will we stand by. No, it says we will not be silenced, nor we stand idly by when those who once spoke for us choose to stand against us. Y'all, let's get up into these comments because I know they are about to go what's in. Okay, so let's get up into these comments. And shout out to Eric Alexander the Great. Erica Alexander the Great. Okay. Where are the comments? Okay, so the comment says exactly rat behavior, Chingy out here catching strays. Is Soldier Boy not Chingy? Let's see. While Malcolm Point keeps proving he was right. In 1963, Malcolm X had an interview at the University of California, Berkeley, where he spoke on Black celebrities not being the voice of political movements. The rhetoric in the interview can most certainly be applied today. He said, show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. Malcolm X said these aren't leaders, they are often puppets for an agenda contradictory to the emancipation of Black people. Tell him, Erica. And he found the soundbite from 2017 where Snoop was adamant about not supporting Trump, yet here we are. It breaks my heart completely. What the F? I thank the Lord for the Boondocks, Chappelle Show, and Spike Lee's Bamboozled for showing me the future before we got to this punk a place in history. Now cancel them like they did Chrisette Michelle. I concur. 3 words in this case. They want to rethink it. Respect our ancestors. I'm the who is really surprised button. Someone says, my God, I just don't understand. Maybe they were promised a Tesla for everybody in their family. Shaking my head. What the F? I want to hear what changed. Snoop Stripes. Someone says, boycott and please don't watch Trump inauguration. Again, another slap in our faces. We should be celebrating MLK and what he did, not Trump. So ICE plans to target big cities such as Chicago, Los Angeles, Phoenix, and New York City starting Tuesday, January 22nd. There will be mass deportations with families being forced apart. Oh my God, oh my God. I get emotional because when you talk about family, family is everything, you know, whether if it's just your immediate family, right? Um, let's just pray for those families and that they can get to safe spaces, you know. Elon Musk reacts to surface video of Snoop Dogg slamming people for wanting to perform at Trump's first inauguration. The vibe shift is real. Oh, Snoop Dogg then. Anyone who performs for Trump at his inauguration is a jigaboo, a N-word, and an Uncle Tom. Snoop Dogg now performs at a Trump inaugural ball. Interesting shift. Elon Musk says the vibe shift is real. Elon Musk jumped in on it.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck out one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first? I suppose the one that performs for himself. So ain't nobody.
Well, child, they are doing what they are doing, child. I know Nelly was having some financial issues. I know that he was in like a lawsuit with his ex band members. I do remember that. So yeah, it's very interesting, very, very, very interesting. Oh my goodness, hold on. It says 8-year-old boy beaten to death in Detroit when grandma went to identify the body. Her heart broke. Child. Okay, we're gonna have to cover these stories. Um, yeah, see, I got his story, and then I got it was a news story that I just got. Let me put this in here. Make sure I have that. All right, so that is it for our hot topics tonight. But we will be back to give you more future updating coverage on the inauguration on today. So I want you all to have a prosperous day and have a great one on purpose. So long.